And welcome back to Inside the Valley on this Sunday morning. Well, right now we have two ladies here from the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. On the show today, we have Missy Garcia Moreno and Sylvia Requenez. Thank you guys both so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
It's my pleasure. So before we start talking about a very important day that's coming up here, let's first of all talk a little bit about the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and what it is that it's all about.
We're a volunteer organization. We just recently became a chapter here in the Rio Grande Valley.
Wow. Okay.
Melissa Hinojosa is the other board member, and she worked very hard for several years. And last October, we became AFSP South Texas.
Wow.
So we are an official chapter. We are participating in our 5th walk in November, and we are finally able to branch out and do other services for the community.
Now, when we talk about suicide prevention, suicide is obviously an important topic everywhere, and it could be from veterans who have PTSD, it could be kids at school who are being bullied, it could just be, you know, depression has obviously a major effect with it. Here in the Valley, is there a problem with suicides, or not really, I guess, kind of focusing just on the Valley, but I guess it's a big problem everywhere. But here in the Valley, do you notice there's an increase in suicides, or is it at an average?
I myself am a survivor of suicide, so I think it was something that you become more aware of when you've experienced it.
Sure.
So I believe it is a problem. It's happening more and more. It's happening in our schools, with our young adults, and even as old as 65.
Right. Now, you don't have to talk about your, story, but what is it, young adults, for instance, what is it with young adults that could make them maybe, say, contemplate suicide? Is it the pressures of maybe schooling, pressures from their parents trying to get a job, trying to get that perfect job, not getting the perfect job? Being bullied? I mean, what would be some of the...
I think it has to do with a lot of the stress, but I think it's just also a lot to do with mental illness.
Okay.
Suicide is not something, a choice that individuals want to do.
Right.
I think it's just, something that they feel is the only choice at the time. And if they knew that there was a place, if they knew that they're not alone, that they can call or, reach out for help. Right. Hopefully.
Is there a 24-hour hotline number that people can call? I'm sure there is one, but
yes, there is.
I know that you have it on your website. We'll pop something up on the website a little bit later here where you'll be able to see it, but there is a hotline number for folks if they are distressed, or if they don't know that hotline number, what would be the best thing for them to do? Just call 911, or...
They can call 911. There's several organizations in our community. South Texas Behavior Center is a big, we collaborate really well for 5 years now we've been collaborating with them. Tropical Texas Health Center, they can call them.
Right. Being, a chapter here in the Valley now, which is fantastic, are you noticing you're seeing a lot of younger children maybe being bullied and maybe them thinking about suicide or being pressured into suicide? Are you noticing anything like that here in the Valley?
Well, actually, I'm a 6th grade teacher, so I work in the middle school, and we do see a lot of it.
Really? Even at
the
grade?
6th grade level.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and we do hear, we get phone calls. Being involved with AFSP, we do get phone calls about children. I think recently, about a year ago, there was a 10-year-old from Corpus.
I mean, why? I mean, when I was 10, I remember just being outdoors and playing and having fun. I mean, why is it now that, being so young, I mean, kids are thinking about taking their own lives?
I think social media plays a big part in it, and the bullying.
Yeah.
And just the pressures of life. And
So tell me about, you just mentioned earlier, you got a big day coming up here, a walk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the walk, what it's all about.
The walk is a day that families and friends can come and honor a loved one who has passed away. Okay. It is to bring awareness, bring community resources to this one-day event, and so people can connect to what's out there in our community.
What day is going to be the walk, and do you know where it is?
The walk is November 12th.
Okay.
And it's at the Edinburgh Doolittle Park, Memorial Park in Edinburgh. It's our 5th year.
Okay.
And with our 5th year, we've raised over $81,000 with our walk.
Wow. And you're hoping to raise more money, and that money is going to go back into...
50% of the money stays here in the Valley, and the other half goes for research at our national office.
Okay. And when you say that money's going to stay here in the Valley, what's it going to go towards? Is it going,
The first thing we actually, since we became a chapter last year, we are conducting our first event, which is on November 19th, which is Survivor Day. This event focuses on those who are left behind to deal with the loss.
Okay.
It's a day that is held the Saturday before Thanksgiving in over 16 countries and in over 355 locations.
Wow.
It's a day where we hope families can come and reach out to others and hear the stories on how they've gained insight on how to deal with their loss and their grief journey.
Right. How do you kind of deal with something like that? Is it best to talk to other people who have been in the same situation, where you can do this at this day?
Some people have felt that going to therapy, individual therapy. Some people have found healing through journaling, through group support groups. I myself did it by texting.
Sure.
And that's a new thing that's coming, texting with therapists, and people do it with that.
Yeah. Sylvia, what do you have to say about,
I remember early on on my journey as a survivor, I had a mother come up to me. She says, "I know how you feel. I lost my son." And I said, "Really, through suicide?" And she says, "Oh no, he was in an accident." And my first thought was, it's not the same.
Right.
We all know what it is to suffer a loss, but suicide just seems to, because so much uncertainty is around it.
Right.
So in talking with other mothers, others that have lost through suicide, it helps.
Right.
There is a healing.
And people who do take their own life and do commit suicide, they're suffering for a while before they make that decision. It's not something that they just say, "That's it, I'm done."
Well,
It could be.
It could be.
It could.
Yeah.
It could be. I didn't have any inkling that something was going on, and it came out of nowhere.
Wow. And then real quickly here for the folks who are tuning in right now, when is this big day that's coming up again? The time, the location?
Saturday, Survivor Day is Saturday, November 19th. We are hosting it at the McAllen Public Library from 10 to 4. Check-in is at 9:15. We are reaching out to the survivors. We will have a creative art therapist. We'll have a laughter yoga therapist, clinical psychiatrists, clinical social workers to be on hand, and also a lot of survivors who have experience and can help others with this journey.
Well, ladies, I want to thank you both so much for coming on the show and sharing your very important message with all the viewers at home. We posted some more information there on Survivor Day, what it's all about. There's the phone number as well. Folks, I'm Alan Campbell. I hope you enjoyed the show. Have a great weekend. I hope to see you again next Sunday. Take care.